Welcome to episode 186 of EDH Commander Challenge. I'm your host, BT. I want to thank you for helping us reach 1,800 subscribers. I'm less than 200 subs away from the 2,000 goal I've been looking to get to for quite some time. Next week, I'll reveal the first giveaway prize, which will be open to all subscribers as thanks for this milestone. So stay tuned. Also, this episode and all of our content is brought to you by our patron pledge hammers, aka the EDHCC Club. Thank you so much for your generosity. We couldn't do it without you. Finally, as the holidays are upon us, if you plan on grabbing a sweet custom playmat or some sleeves, please check out yourplaymat.com and use our promo code BT10YP or click the affiliate link in the description below to receive 10% off your order. This gives you cool swag at a cheaper price and also helps out the channel at the same time. Now then, let's go check out those opening hands. First, in this corner, with an opening hand of a forest, Kessig Wolfrun, Scalding Tarn, Reclamation Sage, Eternal Witness, Sakura Tribelder, Acidic Slime, and his Gruul-style general, Radha Heart of Keld. He is the Big J-Man. This is Josh. Next, in this corner, with an opening hand of an island, Swamp, Maze of Ith, Altar of the Brood, Reality Shift, Mnemonic Wall, Tasha's Hideous Laughter, and his Dimir-style general, Phenax, God of Deception. He is always ready. This is Skyler. Josh from the Dice Roll to start us off, so let's begin this Gruul versus Dimir style card fight. For their first turns, Josh plays and sacks Scalding Tarn, paying 1 life to net Stomping Ground from his deck into play tapped. While Skyler plays an island and casts Altar of the Brood. Josh plays a forest and casts Sakura Tribelder. While Skyler plays a swamp, causing Josh to mill a card off the altar, and cast Nihil's Spellbomb, causing Josh to mill again. In response, however, Josh sacks his Elder to net a mountain from his deck into play tapped before the turn ends. Josh plays Kessig Wolfrun and casts Reclamation Sage. With its ETB, Josh destroys the altar. But in response, Skyler pays a black and sacks his Spellbomb to exile Josh's graveyard and draw a card. Then Josh passes. Skyler plays an island and casts Arcane Signet. Josh plays a forest and casts Acidic Slime. With its ETB, he destroys the Signet. Skyler flows his mana, however, and casts Reality Shift to exile the slime and turn it into a 2/2 Manifest token. Josh then moves into combat and attacks with his Sage for 2 damage before passing. Skyler plays Maze of Ith and casts Tasha's Hideous Laughter. This causes Josh to lose 20 CMC worth of cards that you see here, including a ton of land, before Skyler passes. Josh plays Karplusan Forest and casts Finhorn Elves, followed by his general, Radha, Heart of Keld. Then he moves into combat and attacks with his token and Sage. one of which gets untapped and deals no damage via the Maze of its effect, and Skyler takes 2 damage before Josh passes. Skyler plays an island and casts Toxic Deluge, paying 3 life and dealing -3/-3 to the board, wiping it clean of creatures before passing. Josh plays Field of the Dead, tapped, and casts Eternal Witness. With its ETB, he returns Radha from his graveyard back to his hand, which he then recasts and passes. For Skyler's turn, he casts Memory Erosion and passes. Josh plays a forest and moves into combat, attacking with both of his creatures. Skyler uses his maze on Radha, and before we move to damage, Josh uses Kessig Wolfrun to boost his witness by +4/+0 to deal a total of 6 damage before passing. Skyler plays a swamp and casts Mnemonic Wall. With its ETB, he adds Toxic Deluge back to his hand before passing. Josh moves straight into combat on his turn and uses Radha's effect on herself, giving herself +8/+8, and then attacks with both of his creatures. Skyler uses his maze on Radha again and declares no blocks, taking 2 damage from the witness before passing. Skyler plays Reliquary Tower and casts his general, Phenax, and passes. Once again, Josh moves right into combat on his turn and attacks with both of his creatures. Skyler blocks Radha with his wall. In response, Josh used his Kessig Wolfrun to give Radha +1/+0. In response to that, Skyler uses his maze on Radha, so that once again she deals no damage and gets untapped. Then Skyler takes 2 damage from the witness, and Josh passes. Before the end step, Skyler taps the wall to Phenax's effect to have Josh mill 4 cards from his deck to the graveyard. Skyler wastes no time during his turn and casts the Toxic Deluge he got back not long ago, paying 3 life again to deal -3/-3 to the board, killing both of Josh's creatures. Then, Skyler casts 1,000-Year Elixir and passes. During the end step, Josh sacks a forest to cast Crop Rotation. This triggers the Memory Erosion, causing Josh to mill 2 cards. Then Josh nets Command Tower from his deck into play. And as he now has 7 lands with different names in play, his Field of the Dead triggers and he gets a 2/2 zombie token as well. Josh starts his turn by casting Rhythm of the Wild, which makes him mill 2 cards to the Memory Erosion's effect. Followed by Dryad of the Elysian Grove, milling another 2 cards in the process. Josh has the Dryad gain haste via the Rhythm's effect, and then moves into combat and attacks with both of his creatures. Skyler has the wall block the Dryad and taps it to Phenax's effect, and then he uses his Maze of It on the zombie, so no damage is dealt, but Josh, before passing, ends up having to mill 4 cards. Skyler starts his turn by cycling Fetid Pools to draw a card. Then he casts Feed the Swarm to destroy the Rhythm, which deals Skyler 3 damage to himself, before the turn comes to an end. Josh plays Grove of the Burn Willows and gains another zombie token thanks to his Field of the Dead. Then he casts Splendid Reclamation, but has to mill 2 cards thanks to the Memory Erosion's effect. But he does get to return all of his land cards in his graveyard back to play, which is about to make him a little zombie army. In response, as he has 20 cards in his graveyard, Skyler casts Visions of Beyond to draw 3 cards. Then the Reclamation resolves, bringing back 3 basics and 2 fetch lands from Josh's graveyard back to play, which are Wooded Foothills and Bloodstained Mire. This makes Josh 5 new zombie tokens. Next, he recasts Radha, milling 2 more cards, and passes. During the end step, Skyler taps his wall to Phenax's effect to mill Josh for another 4 cards. Then he uses Elixir to untap the wall and tap it again to repeat the process and have Josh mill another 4 cards. Skyler starts his turn by casting Dauthi Voidwalker. And now that his devotion to Dimir is at least 7, Phenax is finally a creature. Next, he casts Spellskite, followed by Expedition Map, before passing. Josh sacks his Bloodstained Mire, paying 1 life, to net a Cinderglade from his deck into play, which also gets him a 2/2 zombie token, and he moves into combat and waves with all of his creatures that can attack. Skyler blocks a zombie token with his wall, Radha with Phenax, and the Dryad with his Spellskite. Before we move the damage, Josh uses Radha's boost on herself, to which Skyler uses his Maze of Ith to stop Radha's damage. Josh then responds by using his Kessig Wolf Run for +2/+0 on his Dryad. However, Skyler pays 2 life to transfer that boost to Spellskite via its effect. Then he takes 8 damage. Josh then passes, but between the end step and Skyler's upcoming turn, he has more than enough toughness to use Phenax's effect to mill out the rest of Josh's deck, and thus take the win. Josh almost made a comeback, and he has his Field of the Dead to thank for that. He got board wiped twice, but got enough creatures back off the Field of the Dead that if he had just 1 more turn, he may have taken the win. Skyler started off slow, but the Maze of Ith bought him enough time to hold on just long enough to mill out Josh's entire deck. With our picks? Let us know in the comments down below. Also, if you enjoy our content, consider becoming a patron. Give you access to such things as our prize tournaments, bonus entries into giveaways, your nickname as part of our EDHCC club, and so much more. That's it for this week. Thank you all so much for watching. It means a lot to me. Until next time, stay warm, stay safe, and keep on card gaming. Also get your Christmas shopping done as quick as you can. Love you all, and cheers.